you know, in December, I love to sit back and reflect. I love to sit down and talk to God and, work with God on how to become better, because you don't want to really go into another year with the same mindset, different spirits, making the same choices and everything. You want to grow, right? So it's like, all right, so yesterday I felt it manifesting itself because I woke up. I said, God, you know what? You made me an overcomer. I have, us as people, we have been in some situations. We have faced some obstacles. We have pulled through some things. We had to fake it. And, we didn't want people to see and all that type of stuff. But I said, God, you know what? I thank you for making me an overcomer. I thank you because during those times, you was that light. You lifted our head up because you're the lifter of our head. I said, God, I thank you for those moments, because I could have just sat there and said, you know what? This is my life. This is my reality. But I said, I thank you for showing me more. I thank you for making me more than a conqueror. I thank you for showing me that that we as your people, your children, we are a royal priesthood, and you have adopted us inside your family. And I said, God, I thank you for that. And I said, you know what? Because let me tell you something. Us as people, we grow up. Ain't nobody showing us character, how to have character, integrity in life, and we can just stay there. But God, I said, I thank you for not allowing us to stay there. I thank you for showing us more, because you know what? I learned that at some particular moments I became a survivor. God delivered me out of that thing. And I said, you know what? I'm just going to stay here because I don't want to go any further. And I said, God, I thank you for putting me through that, because I started to see who I am. And when the more you go through battles, the more you endure things, the more just figure some things out. You start to see a little bit more of yourself coming into fruition. You start to see the growth. You start to see everything. You start to see your life changing all around you. And that's because God has made you an overcomer today. I want you to keep repeating that, because I understand that situations in front of us right now that says that we not. But I'm going to tell you that the devil is alive. Those situations, they are alive. You are an overcomer. You're not just going to survive it, but you're going to overcome that thing. Not only you going to overcome, you're going to show your family, you're going to show your kids. You're going to show everybody that with the work that God has done in you, that made you overcome. You're going to show those obstacles. You're going to show that because God lifted your head, and you're going to lift everything else around. You're going to have to, man, let me tell you something. It's the end of the year, and I want you to know you are an overcomer. No matter what your situation says, no matter what start talking back. Let those situations and the devil know I'm an overcomer. Not only am I an overcomer, I am going to get through this no matter how hard I got to fight, no matter how hard I got to work. And watch that overcomer start to